Toy Story 5 was supposedly a giant, huge success for Pixar and Disney. Yet the House of Mouse decided to reward them with a whole bunch of pink slips over the past week. Today we'll tell you what's really going on and why all animators at animation studios just might need to worry big time about what is on the rise. It's a great day. It's a groovy day, folks. Welcome back to the channel that continues to change hearts and minds simply by telling the truth with a capital T. As we dive in today, consider clicking that like button, drop a comment down below, and let's go telling the truth about what's happening when it comes to animation. Pixar pummeled, and maybe other animators should now be deeply worried. Whoa, Nelly! Disney just decimated the staff at one of their most successful studios. Wait a minute. Look out for narratives. The collapse is here. Variety reporting this. Todd Spangler. Pixar bears the brunt of Disney studio layoffs as company axes several hundred staffers. Wait a minute. The studio that brought you Toy Story 5, the studio that they said delivered the greatest new IP in the history of mankind and womankind, Hoppers. You're telling me that this is the studio that they're axing? What is happening here? Pixar Animation Studios, it says, despite riding high on the success of summer blockbuster Toy Story 5, was hit particularly hard in a wave of company-wide layoffs Tuesday at Disney. A Disney spokesperson confirmed that the media conglomerate is cutting several hundred jobs across certain corporate functions. Those include ESPN, NFL Network, Disney Entertainment Television, well, just basically everywhere that Dana Walden runs. Oh, and Nat Geo too. But guess who took the hardest hit? It was, in fact, Pixar. Disney in April cut about 1,000 employees in marketing functions across Disney studios, just as soon as new Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro took over. The job cuts now at Pixar are concentrated in production and operations. A source familiar with the layoffs said the changes reflect Pixar's evolving needs related to production volume in the projects that are in process at the studio. Does that mean there are less? More broadly, Walt Disney Studios has evolved its production strategy over the past 3 years to reduce overall volume and prioritize quality. That means there's less, with a focus on theatrical releases that feed into the company's broader entertainment ecosystem, with less produced directly for streaming. That means there's less. Okay, so panel, before we talk about this, Disney's Toy Story 5 is exactly where I said it would be, and I mean exactly. I said it was going to limp over the $1 billion mark if it could make it, but in order to do so, it's got to get the domestic to 450. Where are we at right now? 434, and that means it's 40 million short of the total worldwide. If it gets to 450 domestic, it will limp over the $1 billion mark, and I think it will. I think it will just barely itsy-bitsy crawl over as this thing has flatlined, but it's going to do it. It's going to do it. It's going to barely break $1 billion because Minions was such a lackluster entry. Now, all of that said, panel, I want to talk to you guys because I don't know how the media is going to spin this, Wiz. They just had Toy Story 5. Disney's supposed to be this magical, happy place where all they do is the right stuff. They're laying people off. They're giving them pink slips. Josh D'Amaro is now known more for firing people than anything else as CEO of the company. And I don't know how they're going to keep the media happy with them this way.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out positively. You know, it seems like, I mean, we had Hoppers was a stinker. We had Moana was a stinker. We've got the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. We don't know where that's going to land. Disney and 20th Century Fox have a couple of other films that are going to be dropping this year. We really don't know where they're going to land, but it seems like there is kind of a pinch, a contraction happening inside of the Mouse House as far as employment is concerned. I mean, yeah, Toy Story 5, I think it's going to pass the $1 billion, but
sure,
clearly that's not enough. You know, Josh D'Amaro, when he was his inaugural shareholders conference, he said, we're going to keep making IPs inside of old IPs, which means that there
spinoffs.
It's the spinoffs.
Yeah.
Spinoffification. Yeah. And when we look at something like Hoppers was a completely original idea, which completely tanked. But we have upcoming, there's that movie Gato, which is going to be about the cats.
Mark Ruffalo, the star. Everybody loves a good Mark Ruffalo. Oh, wait.
Right. That's right. I think that's it's a big problem. Pixar has a serious problem when it comes to new IP. A lot of people have blamed that on Disney Plus. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I think they've just been releasing things that are not as good as they need to be to get butts in seats. People just don't care. But you look at Toy Story, everybody feels safe on Toy Story. Toy Story is a safe brand. it hasn't necessarily been as ruined as some of the other major franchises are. Pixar, with the legacy Pixar, they're safe enough to take the family to. But when you look at all this new stuff, you look at Elementals, you look at Hoppers, and you're like, am I okay taking my kids to that? Because I don't really trust it.
Is it fair to say, though, that if they make $1 billion off a movie and they still get hit with massive layoffs, I mean, they're taking the brunt of this. Out of all the layoffs, Pixar is taking the hardest.
You see, the problem with an announcement like this is it says more than they want it to say. Go back to that article and go down to the last paragraph. Here, this is it. He says, reduce overall volume and prioritize quality. What that says is, before, we were emphasizing volume and deprioritizing quality.
Right, which they would never admit.
You have to look at the flip side of every statement like this. It's like, I remember years ago, gosh, who was it? It was, well, I'll think of it another time. But it was a comedian talking about how he got canceled because he commented on the commercial for Samsonite luggage. Remember the one where they threw the Samsonite luggage out of the airplane and it landed and it hit? And they came back to him and he said, what that commercial is telling you is the safest place to fly is inside your luggage. So
right.
You have to look at the what you're really saying when you say these things. And what they're saying is, before we were just making a bunch of crap. Now we're going to try and make it good. Oh, really?
Well, let me tell you guys.
Really?
Let me tell you what I think's happening here, because we predicted this. And so because we predicted this, I think we're owed a little bit of an opportunity to color in why this might be happening. So you guys tell me what you think about it. We predicted that this year and next year, animation studios are going to be completely transformed, and you're going to see massive job losses because eventually the corporations are going to give in to this AI movement. Now, I'm going to play this one more time, and I want to get both of your thoughts on it, because I don't know if you guys have seen this. And I don't know if the audience has seen it yet, so I need to play it. We've played it once before on the show. Josh Dawes, Disney genius. Disney fired him in the last round. Okay, we're talking about a new round of layoffs, the ones that came before this when Josh D'Amaro took over. Josh Dawes, a true Disney genius, employee at the company, total genius, included in the firings. And he started rolling out these Adventures of Mary Sue on X. He's starting his own cartoon, and it's beautiful, and he's doing it with AI. Now, I'm not going to take a position, good or bad, on AI. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to tell you, as we get ready to watch this, Josh Dawes is making these things as a one-person company in a couple of days, sometimes a week, depending on how busy he is. It can be 2 weeks, but he's doing these, multi-minute shorts in a short amount of time as one guy. Here, we'll play it.
Can you help us with this? We need to pick up some supplies.
We're on a quest.
Oh, give me 1 second, dearies. Hands are full at the moment.
Now, we're not going to play the whole thing. I just need to see the quality. I mean, the cartoon girl with the purple hair has little freckles on her face. It's so clear. And the whole thing is that she doesn't like kids because she's a Mary Sue, right? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Again, folks, go watch the whole thing on Josh Dawes X. This is going to have a point for Pixar. I promise. Stay with me. Here's the what would you say? The switch in the story, the lesson that's learned, the ethos, the morale that you find out.
Here, dearie. Watch Angus while I gather your supplies.
Ram?
And she falls in love with the kid and plays with the kid and learns that the whole thing that you should do is, that sort of thing. It's a nice little lesson. Here's the bottom line. Lou, I believe partly, why they're doing these layoffs might be because if one guy can do this, this is better than anything Disney is doing. And if one guy can do that, they're screwed in 12 months. I mean, there's nothing stopping Josh Dawes except time and money, and he might have the backing real soon to do so. I hope he does. There's nothing stopping him and other geniuses from releasing stuff like this in full theatrical form.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder. Josh started doing this after getting laid off by Disney, as I understand it.
That's right.
So those people that are getting laid off today from Pixar, what are they going to be doing for the next 4 or 5 years but competing with their former employers?
I totally agree. Let's bring in another panelist who'd like to weigh in real quick. Kevin Apollo is here with us. Kevin, how are you, buddy?
Guys, how has everybody been? It's been so long. I missed everyone.
Yes.
Kevin, we're just thrilled to have you and Wiz with us right now. Kevin, your thoughts on the idea that perhaps, if somebody could make this kind of stuff, this honestly, I mean, I'm watching this in very high definition. This is beautifully animated. Kevin, if one guy can do this, the animation studios are toast. Good or bad, they're still toast.
Yes, listen, I feel bad for the studios because of the people that are employed by them, but I think this is great news. I've been waiting for this moment since Paramount crushed NXR, because you have to wrestle some creative control back away from these studios and create an environment where talented people can showcase their abilities. We've been stuck in this quagmire of nonsense messaging and really under-talented people being rewarded for just doing what they're told. And listen, for one person to do something like this by themselves on a very limited budget, and at the end of the day delivers a nice wholesome message, I'm all for it. The competition breeds excellence.
Absolutely. Wiz, do you agree that this is partly why they might be doing the layoffs? And also, Wiz, do you find it fascinating at all that, when we watch trailers from Disney, a lot of times when I click on a thing, and I'm just going to leave it here, that's just the best. When I click on these things, still frame, sometimes it doesn't look that great. Every time I click on a frame, it's a thing of art. I can't help it that it came from AI. It came from Josh Dawes' mind first. Wiz, what is happening here? And is it possible that this is why the layoffs are coming?
That could definitely be part of it for sure. I wish we had more proof of evidence that that's exactly it. However, I want to point to the Will Smith spaghetti video. Remember that? Remember the spaghetti video? Now compare that to where we are today.
Oh yeah.
And how much more refined everything is, how sophisticated AI has become. Like what you just watched is look, that is a frame from an AI clip that is nearly 2.5 minutes of an AI short film.
And he made it in 2 weeks. By the way, this is the big guy who wants to hold the baby, and she's like, no, because she's just completely changed her mind. But Wiz, if he can make this as one guy in a couple of days, why can't he make a movie? And then why can't that beat Pixar for
the tools are getting there?
1/100th the cost.
It's only a matter of time. I mean, my gosh, even myself, I'm able to make silly videos now without hardly even trying. I mean, even right here.
What are you doing to me here? What is this?
In real time.
No, that's real.
It's it doesn't look like AI. Absolutely, it looks like AI. But
you should make a video game. Whoa, Bowser, get out of here, Bowser. Oh, got scary.
In just 3 years, how far this technology has come is insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's
if I could add a point,
please.
Technology is brilliant and spectacular, but without a talented storyteller and artist to use it, it's nothing.
That's right.
And I mean, look, we can say everything we can say about Lasseter, but as much as Pixar pioneered technology in its own way, it was his storytelling ability and his sense of heart and soul and people you cared about that made those films great. So it doesn't, the tools are the tools, the artist is the artist. We have great tools, so now the artist can do it cheaper and better and quicker. But it's still about storytelling, and it's still about characters, and it's still about people you give a damn and want to watch.
It's still about people. And as long as it's about people, then I think we can do something with this. Lou, as you were saying that, I was thinking about oil painting, right?
Right.
99.9% of the people, you give them oil paint and brushes, and they can't do anything. But man, there is a tiny number of humans on the planet that you give that to them, and they do something special. And I think this might be the same thing.
Well,
And
but
frankly,
and that takes physical dexterity that this doesn't necessarily require.
right. But frankly, I think that I think I'm ready for Hollywood to face the music, because unfortunately, Hollywood has chosen to play a different song than the market wants. So let's get some folks out there who can do some stuff with the new tech. I only regret that there are people losing their jobs who are good people, because there's no doubt in my mind that Disney did not work hard to find the wokies and the anti-meritocracy folks. No, they probably just fired everybody who cost them too darn much. You know, when you stick around for the entire video, it really does help the channel, and we're so appreciative of that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that you would stick around and hear everything we have to say. The studio is glistening because you're listening each and every day. If you're not yet subscribed, well, you should be, and click that like button. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.